Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates, and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates, and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll.
A very good afternoon and welcome to yet another exciting edition of the program Matters of the Poll. My name is Onome Tado, and on Matters of the Poll today we'll be looking at a plethora of issues that are topical as far as the Nigerian concept is concerned. And joining me on the conversation this morning are our regulars on Matters of the Poll, just almost on my immediate left. I have Comrade Chibuzo Agunwa, Mr. Dash, President General of the Delta Youth Coalition, DYC. Mr. Dash, I'd like to welcome you to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And on my extreme left, I have Comrade Fred Edore, President of the Delta Youth Reorientation Forum. Fred, I'd like to welcome you.
Thank you very much.
And I know that I have to be very, very choosy about the choice of those who I will want to come and discuss the plethora of issues. First of all, we'll be looking at the minimum wage, which is a front burner. And when we are done with that, we'll go to other sundry issues as far as it's concerned. Comrade Chibuzo Agunwa, the concept of the minimum wage is a complex issue with various perspectives and potential impacts on individuals, businesses, and societies. Here's a holistic view of the minimum wage considering its economic, social, and ethical aspects. Ordinarily, the minimum wage is something that should be upgraded on every 5 years. We've moved from one stage to another, and now it was a total shutdown. The economy was shut down, and the agitations has been high, and the government has said, okay, give us 48 hours so that we can up 100% of what we've agreed. Can you just speak to the conversation quickly?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nome. Minimum wage, strike the hair then and all that. I mean, it's high time that the federal government step up and begin to look into this issue and treat it as a critical one, because the welfare of the workers must be in the front page of any serious society, because they are the force behind the revenue generation. And also, from 30,000, you can recall, to bargaining, they say 60. Now, we are talking about 100,000, but it's still not the solution to the problem. The only solution to the problem is a stable society, a stable economy. When the economy is not stable, if you pay 200,000, we'll have even worse issues. So I'm thinking that the best approach to it is the ability of the federal government to show costs by applying certain measures, critical measures, to the fundamental issues facing this country. The economy of this country is being jeopardized. So as a result of that, we should look into it from different perspectives. If the federal government can say that in one day of the strike, that they are losing 149 billion naira, I begin to wonder, what was even last year's budget? Was it not about 21 point something trillion? This year's budget, how much? About 27.5 trillion. Now, let's even do some arithmetics. I'm not with scientific calculator here, but let's see what the brain can do. Multiply 149 billion in 30 days. You are having about 4 trillion 400 and subtraction billion naira. In 365 days, we are hitting up to 53 trillion. So Nigeria has this kind of money. So if actually that they are claiming that this year's budget 2024 is 27.5 trillion, that means that we're supposed to have excess in our reserve, but yet they are borrowing to run the economy. Where is the extra 20 trillion going to? Or about 20-something trillion going to? There is hanky-panky somewhere. Some loopholes are there, money is missing everywhere. And the federal government knows about it. So the best thing to do is to look into the welfare of the workers and give them the portfolio they deserve. As soon as the economy continues to deteriorate, there is no amount of money that can, balance the equation. So let's look into the critical issues, the fundamental issues, solve them, bring fuel to 200 naira a liter, diesel to 380 a liter, cooking gas to possibly 250 naira a liter, kerosene to 300 naira a liter, and bring dollar to 700 or 500 naira, and watch this economy reset by itself.
All right, I want Fred to actually respond to that because basically what Dash is saying, we're looking at the economy as a major aspect of it by basic income for the workers, helping in maintaining purchasing power and consumer spending, which can lead to increase in productivity and reduced employee turnover. And this eventually may lead to high cost of businesses, potentially affecting employment and inflation indices. Speak to that quickly.
Okay, thank you so much for having me this afternoon. This issue of national minimum wage or minimum wage is a national issue. One of the primary responsibility of government is welfare of our citizens, adequate welfare for our citizens. And who are the ops? Who are the engines that run the government or that make up the government? Are the civil servants. And if the civil servants are not okay, if the civil servants are not all right, government cannot function properly. Government cannot function properly. And for government to function properly, the welfare of our citizens, the welfare of the worker needs to be looked into. Well, NSC and TUC, they are fighting for workers for their minimum wage to be increased. It's a good one. Yes, it's a good one. But one thing we need to bear in mind, even though you increase the minimum wage from 30,000 to 500,000 to 400,000, as the case may be, that is not the way out of this inflation, of this economic hardship that we are facing. Nigeria is going through a lot. Our citizens are going through a lot. If you are a politician or if you are well-to-do, check your inbox. People beg for money every day, not only civil servants. The unemployed youths, those in school, those that look up to you. And if you look at a lot of homes today, there's no peace at home again. Because of what? Because of the economic hardship. So the fight that NSC and TUC are fighting is a good fight. But they should also look into for our currency, our money, our naira to have value, to have purchasing power. So the NSA should also push for government to do the basic things that will boost the productivity of this nation, that will make workers mine, that will bring down inflation, that will make this country a better place. Look at the nation, for example. How much is a bag of rice currently? Gari, that the common citizen, that everybody look up to before now. How much is Gari? One basket, I think, is 4,000 or 4,000 plus. More than. If you are a family of 6, it's just 1 day or 2 days. That's when that one got. We should try to be producing We try to be producing. When we are producing, you will see that this issue of minimum, nobody will even be looking at this minimum wage, whether you increase it or not. Increase the minimum wage to 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. How much is a liter of fuel? And you know that this transport sector control the economy. Because any market woman that wants to go to the market, they need transportation. And they will now charge them according to how they buy fare. So government, TUC, NSC should also not only going on strike because of minimum wage, they should also put the government on their toes that, see, this refinery that we have, why is it not working? Our refinery, why are they not working? We have about 3 or 4 refineries in this country. We have Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna. They are not working. Look at our steel company, the DSC steel company, the Ajaokuta steel company. All those things, if those things are working, nobody will talk about minimum wage. We will start to have economic power and we'll be exporting. So we depend solely on oil and other things that we need to look into. We are not looking into it. Increasing tax. For instance, now this cyber fees is just recently because of the agitation of Nigeria. That is why they step it down. It's not a matter of increasing tax, bringing tax. When there is production, you will see that things will fall in place and the cry of the workers, the cry of the citizen will go down. So the TUC, the NLC, they should also force government to do the needful, not only on salary. They should serve the public, not themselves.
Okay. Are you of the school of thought that considering these multifaceted areas that you've looked at now, it is clear that the minimum wage is not just an economic policy, but also a social and ethical issue impacting the well-being of individuals and the society as a whole? Are you of that school of thought?
Yes.
Why are you on that school?
Well, this minimum wage of a thing, you see, it's increasing of minimum wage is beyond this 30,000. It's beyond what we are saying now. For Nigeria to succeed, we should focus on production. When you focus on production, all other things will fall into place.
Okay. Chibuzo, are you of that school of thought as well? Looking at the multifaceted aspect of the economic policy, social issue, ethical issues, and all of that put together?
I think it will form an integral part of it.
Okay.
I will not say totally, but partially. Because even if as a salary earner, you are not meant to depend only on your salary. You go extra mile by investing in agriculture, because agriculture can help revive this country. If, for instance, in my backyard, even me, last week, I bought green seed. I sprayed it. Today now, if you go there, it's coming up. I like vegetable very well. Of course, I will not be going to queue for vegetable. If some number of persons can do 1 or 2 in their backyard, so the farmers, when they bring out their produce, they will see that the number of, demand will reduce. They will force to sell at a cheaper rate. By so doing, the economy is resetting. Are you getting it? And if the vehicle driver, that is the transporter, has come to load, he did not see much people to load, maybe less passengers with more vehicle. Don't you think what I'm thinking? There will be competition in who to give discount and not discount, because everybody wants to engage. Do you get it? So let's look at agriculture as part of a way out of this critical issue of Nigeria economy. Thank you.
Okay, so if I'll ask you now before I round up this conversation, what are your expectations? What do you think government should use as a benchmark? 100,000, 400 and something thousand for the civil servants?
For now, as I said earlier, no matter the amount pegged as a minimum wage, for me, it doesn't make sense. But a reasonable amount is okay. 100,000 is okay, it's not too bad for a start. But there are certain economic policies that should be in place that can propel, the stability of the economy. If the economy is stable, I don't think it's an issue because you spend as you earn. In Nigeria, for instance, driver's license with about 30,000 or 40, you can get it here in Nigeria.
Yes.
But it's not like that in Germany. In Germany, you have to spend about 3,000 to 4,000 euros. So convert it with the current rate, exchange rate. Euro is about 1,700 per euro. So multiply. You see, you have to spend about 6-point-something million to get a driver's license in Europe.
Okay. Dure, what's your take? What do you expect government? Because I know they were given 5 days. What are your expectations? The president has said 48 hours, feed me back. What do you feel? What do you think should be
Well,
the right space?
when no money, no amount is really too much, or no amount that is really too small. The issue is let our system start to work.
Okay.
When the system works, everything will regulate itself.
Yeah, so can you peg something? Can you just peg a particular
If we
amount?
say 500,000 is not enough.
Okay,
If you say
500,000.
200,000 is not enough. If you say 100,000 is not enough.
Okay.
But what I really want the government to do, they should try to bring down inflation so that no matter what they agree, that money will have value.
All right, I will take a break, and when we come back, we're still looking at issues, matters of the poll. We have a plethora of issues, actually. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at yet another conversation on matters of the poll. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Watch matters of the poll. Get the best news, updates and information, inspiration from matters of the poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news. Latest political news, analysis and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates and information, inspiration from...
All right, welcome back. And in case you're just joining us, it's Matters of the Poll, and I'm still being joined by my friends and gentlemen who have been speaking on a plethora of conversations. And so right about now, we'll be looking at our next component of the discussion today, which is the new national anthem. In Nigeria, we hail has been reinstated as the official national anthem of Nigeria, replacing the Arise, O Compatriot. The change was made on the 29th of May, Democracy Day 2024, when the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, signed the national anthem bill into law. Obviously, the restatement of the original anthem, which served from independence in 1960 until 1978, has sparked mixed reactions from Nigerians. Chibuzo, yes, Arise, O Compatriots, Nigeria, we hail thee. There are two different You know, so can you just speak to this? Because do we really need this at this critical point in time?
Well, in every serious society, there is always a particular tax or vision they have. So it depends on the seriousness of a government towards a particular tax. If you ask me a question on that, I will tell you that these people are making mockery or caricature of our individual intelligence. And until Nigeria begin to see issues as critical as it is, this country will never be better. On this era of hardship, the federal government is telling us that they are using 3-point-something billion naira to pass a bill to amend or replace the national anthem. Good and fine. In 1960, Nigeria got their independence. And in that 1960, for any thriving independent country, they must have a national item. And I remember somebody, Lillian Jane Williams, who composed the Nigerian national item. She is a Briton.
Yeah.
And today, we are reciting it. After General Olusegun Obasanjo, in 1978, when he was the head of state of Nigeria, he changed it. Reason because of certain conceptual issues. You know, there are things you look into, considering the Civil War, to bring about unity, fairness, and justice. An umbrella that could bring, you know, a free will for the people. That was the aim, to change the Nigeria we held it to arise, O compatriots. Do you understand? Today, in 2024, we are changing it. And we are not just changing it. The period at which this national item was changed was what puzzled me. Within 48 hours, it passed first, second, and third reading, and they switched, and rather enacted it into law. And as at 29th day of May, it was used on the Democracy Day. I hope you are thinking what I'm thinking. Nigeria now have 2 democracy days. One is 29th of May, and the second is June 12th, as claimed by the previous government under the Buhari. So I don't know the Democracy Day we are even celebrating. Is it 29th or 12th of June? But that is by the way. Now, looking into the national item, to change it is not my problem. But what are the purpose of the change is a question that nobody is answering. The federal government should be honest to itself by coming up plain to tell us why the change and what positive effect could it add to the economy. If yes, XYZ is the answer, let's know. Otherwise, I'm not seeing any meaningful thing to it. That money should have used for the less privileged. Thank you very much.
All right, quickly, Dore, that's a great question, actually. It's posited either way. The reintroduction of the old national anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, has sparked a debate about its timing and relevance. Some arguments for and against its introduction at this critical time. Some people are pro and contra. Some said, okay, it was a Briton that actually said Nigeria will hail thee by composure. And it was a Nigerian that composed the Arise. That I hope we are not going to be under the tutelage of the so-called colonial masters. Speak to that quickly.
Well, in Nigeria and Africa at large has always been on the tutor of the colonial masters, because we still practice new colonialism in the sense that we prefer foreign things than our own thing. We don't really like our own thing. Understand? So that is what is happening in Nigeria and the rest of Africa. The old national anthem that they reversed as a new national anthem is not really bad. If you look at the lyrics, one thing that really captured me most in this national anthem, say we should not pass a flag stain to our what? To our children. So our politicians, our leaders, the question that I want them to ask themselves, which flag are they passing on to their children? Which flag are they passing on to the next generation? Is it a flag of corruption? Is it a flag of a disunity? Is it a flag of embezzlement? Is it a flag of nepotism? Is it a flag of tribalism? Is it a flag of I want to have it all? Which flag are we passing on to the next generation? Then if you also look at the national anthem again, you will now see our mother's land. You know, at this time, we need love. At this time, we need care. You know, if you look at the children that the same mother gave birth to, they are more close than the children that they are the same father. You understand? Mm-hmm. The same father. So Nigeria now is now a mother's land. We are now one nation. Before, according to this national anthem, they are saying that we are now one nation. So if they really want to reflect the national anthem, our leaders should do the right thing. What is the right thing that they need to do? They should lead by example. All these embezzlements, appropriation, this has to stop. They should have the interests of Nigerians. They should have the interests of our citizens at heart. Because this national anthem, I don't know if the president even know how to recite it. I don't know if our leaders know how to recite it. But if they don't know how to recite it, they should take time to listen to the lyrics and ponder on the national anthem. Because the national anthem is the symbol, is the dignity, is the integrity of every nation, is the pride of every nation. So this is what we have reversed to, that they are trying to do transformation, trying to do a renew hope agenda, which is trying to install hope in Nigeria again. They should lead by example and make sure that Nigeria will hate thee. Let Nigeria behave for good. Let's hate Nigeria for good. We should not hate Nigeria for evil. We should not hate Nigeria for terrorism. We should not hate Nigeria for banditry. We should not hate Nigeria for food insecurity. Nigeria, we hate thee. What are we hailing Nigeria for now? That is what our leaders need to ask themselves. It's not only from federal to state to local government to every homes, to every individuals. Yes, we have changed the national anthem now to Nigeria we hate thee. What are we hailing Nigeria for? Are we hailing Nigeria for good? Are we a good ambassador of this country? Are we being a good ambassador of this country? Are we protecting the country rights? Are we promoting the country in the way it should be? Because as it is now, are we hailing Nigeria that people are hungry? Are we hailing Nigeria that people can no longer sleep because of what? Armed robbery? Because of insecurity? What are we hailing Nigeria for? Which banner are we passing? Is it a bloodless banner? Or banner stained with blood? Is it the SARS banner? What are we hailing Nigeria for? It's a question that we need to ask ourselves. If we really want to grow, let's hail Nigeria.
Get the best news, updates and information, inspiration from matters of the poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates, and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates, and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates, and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates.
All right, you're still on. Sorry for that break. We had to redirect our source of supply. So, Fred, moving forward, it is essential to consider the following steps in the Nigeria We Hail the mantra. One, national dialogue, education, and awareness.
Yes.
Inclusive decision-making, address pressing issues, unity and patriotism, cultural preservation, leadership, and governance. Can you just speak to that in 2 minutes before we go to our next conversation quickly?
Well, I once said in this studio that economic policy is not the way out of recession. The only way out of recession is leadership. If we have the right leader, everything will go well. It's not all about policy. What Nigeria needs is implementation. We have a lot of
Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates, and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates, and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll. Watch Matters of the Poll. Get the best news, updates, and information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll.
All right, Aguma, can you just speak to that conversation, actually?
Okay.
Leveraging on this national anthem as a symbol of unity and patriotism. Quickly, as well.
Yes, the national anthem, good and fine, is a symbol of unity and patriotism, and of course, unity is best in a time like this. To be united is best in a time like this. So, considering the hardship that the Nigerians are passing through, the best way to go is to, to relinquish ourselves to hope, which I believe the government is trying to, come up with. But that hope should be fast, because people are dying every day, people are suffering, go to the street, In fact, let them not delay much, because it might get to a point where you will be walking on the road, even your eyeglasses will be snatched away from you. It is just getting to that level. So I pray that we don't only do policies and make amendment of bills and all that, because as my colleague said, we have quantum of bills that are made, not yet implemented. So with the ones we have, let's work with them, implement it, and be realistic with the governance, because the resources are there. Government has money. God has blessed this country to a level that we are not supposed to even borrow. But even at that, we are borrowing. So why would we not be self-sustainable, self-sufficient? Why? So at this juncture, I believe that the earlier the government begins to be realistic, to make things work for its citizens, the better for all of us. Thank you very much.
Well, I'd like to thank you so much, gentlemen. I just got signals now. Time really is not our friend. We still had a few other sundry issues to touch. But I'm sure I'll need to invite you guys again next week to speak on other sundry issues that are actually lined up. Thank you, Comrade Chubuzo Agunwa, Mr. Dash, President General Delta Youth Coalition. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And Comrade Fred Edore, President Delta Youth Reorientation Forum. I thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You've always been there whenever we need you. And I must congratulate you, Dash, because you are a philanthropic person. I saw,
you very much.
I saw all that you did
Yes.
recently by way of ameliorating and alleviating the sufferings of
Yes.
Nigerians. I actually saw that on the social media.
Thank you
You
very
spent
much.
quite a lot to make sure that the people are carried along.
Yes.
We'll be back again next week, and just stay positive. And remember, yes, Nigeria will hail thee. Let's be our brother's keeper. My name is Onomet Tanu. God bless Nigeria. God bless Delta State. Bye for now.
Information, inspiration from Matters of the Poll. Matters of the Poll provides you with the latest political news, analysis, and opinions. Matters of the Poll.